Dear students, we are going to start Chapter 4 Pollination Part 2. Some topics we have already covered in previous video. Let's have a recap. Parts of flower. Thalamus is basal part of flower. Sepals are green leaves. Petals are colorful leaves. Now stamen. Stamen is male part of flower. Stamen is male reproductive part of flower. It further has two parts, anther and filament. This anther contains pollen grains. Pollen grains are present in anther. Next part is pistil. It is female reproductive part of flower. It further has three parts, stigma, style and ovary. In the ovary, inside the ovary, there are small dot-like structures which are called ovules. So these are the parts of flower. If flower has both pistil and stamen, if flower has both pistil and stamen, that is female part and male part, then it is called bisexual flower. If flower has only one part, either it has stamen or it has pistil, then it is called monosexual flower. The flower which is shown in picture, that is bisexual flower, because it has both the parts, male part and female part, that is stamen and pistil. Next topic is annual, biennial and perennial plants. What are annual plants? These grow only for one season. These plants grow, produce bloom and die in 1 year. This means within 1 year these plants grow, these bear flowers and bear fruits and die in that same year. Examples are cosmos, marigold and zinnia. Biennial plants. These plants grow from seeds in first year but bloom during second year. This means lifespan of these plants is 2 years. In the first year, plant grows, becomes mature, and in second year, this plant bears flowers and flowers change to fruits. So plant completes its life cycle in 2 years. At the end of second year, this plant dies. Examples are parsley and sweet William dwarf. Perennial plants. These grow for several seasons but bloom for limited time every year. Means the lifespan of perennial plants is many years. They can survive for many years. And every year, for a limited time period, they bear flowers, and in some plants, these flowers change to fruits. Examples are bougainvillea, daylily, and and petunia. Next topic is pollination. It is process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. Pollination is process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. In this picture, we can see anther. This anther has pollen grains inside. Anther is a sac-like structure. Anther is a small bag-like structure which has very small particles in it. These anthers burst open. Pollen grains come out, and these pollen grains fall on stigma. These pollen grains fall on stigma. So pollen grains fall from anther to stigma. This process is called pollination. Pollen grains fall from anther to stigma. This process is called pollination. After pollination, the pollen grains which fall on stigma, they move through style and reach ovary. Pollen grains reach ovary. Inside the ovary, ovules are present, which are also dot-like structures, very small particles. Pollen grains join with the ovules. After this, ovules change to seeds and ovary changes to fruit. After the pollination, pollen grains move towards the ovary. In the ovary, pollen grains join with ovules. After this joining process, ovary changes to fruit and ovules change to seeds. So what happens after pollination? After pollination, ovary swells up and changes into fruit. Ovules change into seeds. Types of pollination. Pollination is of two types, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Now let's understand how self-pollination happens. When pollen grains which are present in the anther fall on stigma, and it happens on same flower, means pollen grains of one flower fall on the stigma of same flower. It is self-pollination. Or when pollen grains of one flower fall on the stigma of other flower but same plant, then also it is self-pollination. But when pollen grains of one flower fall on stigma of other flower of other plant, then it is cross-pollination. So self-pollination is the process when pollen grains from anther of one flower fall on stigma of same flower or of another flower present on same plant. It is self-pollination. Example, pea plant. Now, what are advantages of self-pollination? It is common among bisexual flowers. Means it can happen on the plants, on the flowers which are bisexual, which have both male part and female part. Second, there is no wastage of pollen grains because it happens on same plant. So pollen grains fall on stigma of flower of same plants. So there is no wastage. Plant does not require a big flower. Disadvantages of self-pollination. It may lead to poor quality seeds. Plant will not yield new variety. Means same type of flowers, same type of plants will be produced. No new plant will be produced after pollination. Next is cross-pollination. When pollen grains from the anther of one flower are transferred to stigma of another flower present on different plant of same kind, it is cross-pollination. Now, because in this cross-pollination, pollen grains fall on other flower. Pollen grains fall on other flower of other plant. This other plant may be far away. So pollen grains are carried to other plant by wind or by insects. For example, when wind blows, it carries pollen grains from one plant to other plant. So wind is pollinator. Wind is agent of pollination. So wind carries pollen grains from flower of one plant to flower of other plant. Same way, when insects sit on the flowers, some pollen grains stick to the wings of insects, to the legs of insects. When these insects fly and sit on some other flower, sit on some other plant, the pollen grains from their wings and legs fall on that flower. So insects also carry pollen grains from one plant to other plant. They are also pollinators. They are also called agents of pollination. Advantages of cross-pollination. New seeds will be healthy. New varieties of plants can be produced. Disadvantages of cross-pollination. Cross-pollination depends on availability of pollinators. This means cross-pollination can happen only when wind blows. Wind carries pollen grains from one plant to other plant. Or when insects are available. They sit on one plant, then fly to other plant and carry pollen grains. So first disadvantage of cross-pollination is that it depends on availability of pollinators. Second, pollen grains are required in large quantity. Because pollen grains are to be transferred from one plant to other plant, suppose they are carried by wind. So when wind carries pollen grains from one plant to other plant, some of the pollen grains may fall in the soil. They may get wasted. So these are required in large quantity for cross-pollination. Third point, flower has to be large colored and scented to attract pollinators. Because cross pollination depends on pollinators. What are pollinators? Wind is pollinator. Insects are pollinators. So insects are attracted by colored petals and fragrance of petals. So if the flower is colored, if the flower is fragrant, then only insects are attracted, then only insects help in pollination.